Jasmine Crockett dropped facts, not accusations, but within hours, Barron Trump collapsed backstaged. The truth behind a hidden server began to unravel. You could tell something was brewing the moment Jasmine Crockett leaned forward in her chair. It was that slow, intentional kind of lean, like she knew she was about to say something that no one could walk back. The segment had been running for 20 minutes, just another political roundtabling. A Friday night topic, youth in politics, the usual low turnout, social media, bubbles, Gen Z, disillusionment. Jasmine had been quiet for most of it, let the others talk. A former senator from Missouri's rambling about how kids these days just don't respect the system. A network analyst kept circling back. 2 TikToks in, someone cracked a lazy joke about Barron Trump maybe running for office one day, and the audience laughed politely. Thoughts. When she moved, I don't think it's funny. Jasmine said, still calm, especially not when there are conversations happening. Online, dangerous conversations, and someone using Barron Trump's device might have been part of them. Silence. Live silence on Eru could almost hear the control room panic. The host stammered. Congresswoman Crockett, are you suggesting? What? I think you're suggesting I'm saying if any other kid was involved in the kinds of groups I've been briefed on, they'd be in federal custody right now. But because this kid's last name is Trump, we're pretending it's not real. There it was, no fluff. No hedge, just thrown on the table like raw meat. Panel went stiff. One of the guests, a long-time Republican consultant, tried to laugh it off. That's a bold accusation without proof, Jasmine. She didn't blink. You want proof? She reached for her bag and pulled out a manila folder. I brought it with me. Even the host didn't try to stop her. Mobby. He thought it was a bluff. She wasn't bluffing. Inside, color printouts of group chats, Reddit threads, Discord logs, screen names that matched Barron's gaming alias, screenshots from a private server where users were trading jokes about state secrets and referencing documents that hadn't even gone publicized. Nothing explicitly illegal, but the implications were serious. Especially some of the accounts were tied to IP addresses pinging from Mar-a-Lago's residential wing. That's when the air changed, the laughter stopped, the camera didn't cut away. No producers were screaming rap. In anyone's earth, Republican strategist tried again. Anyone can Photoshop screenshots. Jasmine smiled, but it wasn't friendly. Hitch is why I had them cross-referenced by 2 different cybersecurity firms, including one your own party used during the 2020 recount. Miss that landed hard. No one spoke for a moment. The host muttered something about needing to move on, but Jasmine cut in before he could steer. I'm not saying Barron Trump broke a law, added. I'm saying if he weren't a Trump, we'd be having a very different conversation. And just like that, the room fell into a strange, nervous quiet, not because anyone agreed or disagreed yet, but because they knew something real had just slipped through the cracks of their tidy little Penelope. The time they cut to commercial, Twitter was already exploding. A 15-second clip of Jasmine's different conversation line had been clipped and captioned by someone in the audience. It went viral in minutes. Jasmine versus Barron was trending within the hour, but it wasn't just online noise news. Producers started calling their senior correspondents. Mid-show, the control room tried to pull the segment early. Jasmine's comms team had already pushed the screenshots to a secure site, along with a time-stamped memo that said not a stunt. These are real. She hadn't told anyone she was going to drop it on live TV, not even her aides. Later, she didn't want anyone to talk her out of it. Too many people get silenced before they even speak, she told her assistant in the car. After the network execs panicked for a while, debated whether to issue a By then, it was too late. The fire was already out and far away from the studio lights. In a ballroom in Palm Beach, a teenager who had been building his public image for the last 6 months was quietly escorted off stage, ashen-faced, visibly shaken. Before he ever got to the microphone, about that moment wasn't even the most shocking part. It was around 10:30 p.m. Eastern. The full screenshots hit the internet. Jasmine's team uploaded everything to a public drive, usernames, date stamp server. Logs and messages pulled directly from encrypted group chats. Didn't post it herself, not at first. It came from an intern who pressed publish with shaking hands and a short caption, since everyone keeps asking. Here's what she brought within 15 minutes. Every major political journalist with a Twitter account had reposted it by morning. Screenshots were dissected line by line on YouTube live streams and cable news panels. Some dismissed it as teenage trolling. Others pointed out how the conversations were filled with specific reference to Department of Energy memos and NATO briefings that had never been made public. That's what chilled people. This wasn't a group of kids joking about politics. It looked like someone, maybe multiple people, had been leaking restricted info into what started as a private Discord for gaming, and someone using the name BT Real had posted a meme that matched a document layout. The Pentagon had just started investigating the week prior. It didn't take a genius to connect. The initios. The biggest break came when 2 journalists from the Arizona Chronicle confirmed that the server was flagged last month during a quiet sweep by a government cybersecurity unit. Apparently, the unit had sent warnings to multiple parents-off minors caught in the chats, but none to the Trump family. That detail hit hard. If true, it meant someone somewhere decided to keep Barron's name off that List cable anchors didn't know how to cover it too. Could see it in their body language. Some leaned too hard into disbelief. Others tiptoed like they were walking through a minefield. But Jasmine, she leaned in. 11 a.m. The next morning she was on 3 networks back to back. Each time she refused to label Barron directly but made her message clear. It's not about whether he's guilty. It's about whether we're applying the same rolesto, the powerful that we do to everyone else, she said during an interview on WUSA 9. Out of DCTHE hosts tried to corner her. But aren't you worried? This is going too far. This is the former president's teenage son. Jasmine didn't flinch. So I taught in public schools before. Congress have seen kids locked up for doing less with a Chromebook and a